Hi everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel, and today I am really excited because Loving Country, I played this game at the end of last year through the beginning of this year, and I played the demo at the beginning of last year, so 2024. And I've always been very excited since playing the demo, and I'm very thankful to the game devs, Goohoo Games, for providing me with a key to the game so that I could play it in full and show you how our talented Lillian here, our leading lady, um, will do on her first spy mission. And who are these lovely men next to her? We know who they are. I won't reiterate because we're going to get into that in just a second. Um, Anyways, I'm back because one, there has been an update to Loving Country. Specifically, the title has now been changed to Love and Country: The First Mission, which makes sense because Lillian's first spy mission, that was like the whole story. And I think I had seen on one of the like devlogs that this was like more of the initial like story, and that the game devs were planning to continue the story and develop it some more. So it's very nice that it's official because I'm very excited about it, and we're gonna see like what that actually entails in the future because the game devs are currently working on that. So I'm very excited about that. And the reason why I am here today is not just to tell you about the updated title because I mean that's fun enough, but alongside that, we have been given bonus content, and I made sure to, make sure I was able to have that pop up for me. If you can see here, there's bonus content that I've now am hovering over, and I'm so excited. And I don't even know how long the bonus content is. This was released on Valentine's Day, so still the same month right now, but better late than never. And the bonus content, if we click to it, is either looking at Emile at Bar Le Boulul or Anton at the Bandisher Banoff. Um, and I don't know how long these are because like I'm sure they're just kind of like a couple scenes. So I don't know how long this video is going to be, if I'm gonna like split them up, or if I'm just gonna have one video with the bonus content, because that's fine. I might, if it's short enough, I'll probably just include it in one video. But anyways, as much as I want to go see Emil first, I'm also very curious about Anton, and maybe seeing his like point of view will help me be less scared of him. I'm very intrigued though because he's such a complicated person, like like background wise, like what he does and how he meets Lillian and like who is he, but he's also very scary given his like authority in like the military in Germany at this time of World War I, etc. So I'm very curious, and the things he's done, I'm also curious. I need to know like what is he thinking when he meets like Lillian and is interacting with her. So we're gonna start there because we just need to know. Also, yay for the Anton fans. I know you're out there. God, with this little hat, it's cute. Well, Lillian, this is where we must part. I didn't want to say it. Oh, this is okay. So this is like right after they get off this train. Oh, I didn't realize she's wearing like a little L for Lillian. Cute. Love the blue on her. Okay. For the last 5 hours, we were the only two people in the world. Nothing outside of the train car existed. Oh gosh, he's really focused here. We couldn't pretend that anymore, standing amongst the crowds on the platform. It's with reluctance that I set down her bags. This... She looks so sad. Her words come slowly as whatever spell we were under lifts. Was an unexpected pleasure, Anton. I manage a smile, but it's hard to think of anything other than the fact that this encounter is winding down. don't want it to end. Not yet. Where will you go from here? Home. Back to Berlin. Berlin. The thought of returning makes my spirit sink. I take any excuse to delay it. If I could just stay here talking to Lillian for 5 more hours. She's so full of wit and charm, and the way expressions dance across her face when she tells a story, I could listen to her all day. Oh gosh, he's down bad, and I love that. Okay. Makes him more endearing, you know? I mean, I figured, like, it's not like I didn't know that playing from Lillian's point of view. Like, it definitely seemed that way. But it gets way more complicated after this. Anyways, I don't want this to end. It repeats in my head like a refrain. She has her uncle to attend to here in Basel, not to mention a whole life back in Paris. My eyes drift to my shoes as the foolish idea takes shape. What if we didn't end things here? There are 1,000 reasons why I shouldn't suggest it. My job being chief among them. Okay, he knows about his job being a very particular obstacle. The secrecy of my work touches every aspect of my life, making it almost impossible to build a meaningful relationship with anyone. It utterly destroyed my marriage. I want to know more about that marriage, by the way. But a correspondence could be maintained more easily. My gaze lifts back to her doe-like eyes, and the objections slip away. The thought of a word from her from time to time, even only on paper, makes my heart skip. I don't suppose that I could write to you. It's such a selfish request. I like that we get to see Lillian in action. Okay, yeah, tuck your hair behind your ears. There's no end goal, no future of any kind for a relationship. Just letters. I can't offer her anything beyond that. I'm not even sure what I could expect from such an exchange. Maybe just hope. An age seems to pass as she hesitates. My situation in Paris isn't really permanent, and I don't know where I will go next. She puts the rejection as softly as she can, but it crushes me nonetheless. I see. I'd been so taken with her that I let myself get carried away. What had passed between us was a rare occurrence for me. When was the last time I was so charmed? Though for her it must be completely different. Prosaic, even. She probably makes friends wherever she goes, warm and outgoing as she is. And I must have taken that geniality for something it wasn't. The least I can do now is bring it to a graceful end. Well, if you ever find yourself in Berlin, perhaps you could look me up. Reaching into my breast pocket, I pull out one of my cards and hand it to her. Shipman Stallworks. The family business. If you contact the office, they'll know how to reach me. If she ever changed her mind. The thought is fleeting. Sure, if I'm ever in Berlin. She won't. There's no reason for us to ever cross paths again. I'm embarrassed I even suggested it. Oh my gosh, you're making me feel for you, Anton. You know what? It's fine. You put out an offer. You put out feelers there. And you are so respectful and gentlemanly. And we love to see it. So bare minimum, but we love to see it. It's fine. It's fine to be embarrassed. You don't even have to be embarrassed. It's okay. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy your visit with your uncle. Auf Wiedersehen, Lillian. Sorry, I'm only laughing because I don't know. My German's so poor. Anyways. Auf Wiedersehen, Lillian. Goodbye, Anton. I want to say something else, but when I open my mouth, I come up short. There's nothing else to add. And so he turns away. Giving up, I tip my hat before turning on my heel and leaving. You foolish man. My pace is brisk, as if putting some distance between myself and that awkward scene will do anything to save my pride. I was so certain that what I felt had been mutual. And you would be right, sir. But you don't know that she's a spy. Error begins with assumption. Is that not true? Oh gosh. Wasn't that what the Major always told me? I sigh with resignation. He'll be waiting for my call. Oh, okay, we gotta do a telephone call. Okay. My feet carry me to an alcove with public telephones, and there's no one else here for the time being. Perhaps I should get it over with now before I cross to the German side of the station. I pick up the receiver and wait for the line to connect. How may I direct your call? Berlin. Lichtturf, 8571. Please hold. It always takes a few minutes for the operator to route the call, especially for long distance. As the seconds tick by, I start to debate with myself how much I ought to tell him. I finished the job, of course, but it didn't go as smoothly as it could have. Oh yeah, what was your job in Paris? Hello? Major, it's Shipman. Ah, Captain. Back from Paris. Oh my god, I should practice German, but it's okay. I'm calling from Badischer Bahnhof. I'll be crossing over to Lorac shortly. And Berger? My target. A double agent that had become unreliable. I had recently, unwittingly, become a hunter of sorts for these undesirables. Eliminated. Good. Good. Nothing I'll have to read about in the Parisian papers, I hope. It was meant to be a clean job, but didn't go as planned. I ended up running out of time and was forced to leave a gruesome scene behind. It will probably make the local papers. There was a struggle. It was unavoidable. Anton. There's a quiet disappointment in his voice as he drops the formalities. I think he was tipped off. And I think you've been getting sloppy. I don't remember Burger, so I don't know if that was like something related to like what Lillian or anyone knew in the Deuxième Bureau, but I don't remember. He was right, of course. I could make excuses, but the truth was I hadn't been as careful as I should have been. And we both knew why. Why? Oh, he doesn't want to do it. Okay. I don't want to do this anymore. We've talked about this, Anton. There are other ways I can serve. There are not. This is what your country needs from you. It's your duty because you alone have the strength to bear it. This isn't the first time the Major has spat this rhetoric at me. I used to believe in it. But I've begun to question what I do. Simply put, I follow orders. I tell myself it's not so different from what the men at the front are doing. They kill for their country, same as me. But no matter how I rationalize it, there are only two ways to be a killer. Earnest or numb. And I lost all feeling long ago. Okay, so this is the complicated hitman vibes that we're getting from Anton that I didn't really know about, but we assumed based on his like position in the military and like given some of his other actions in the main story. But this is interesting that he's been wanting to like leave this type of position, or at least do some other types of have some other types of responsibilities, which is I really think very interesting. And I wonder if that has to do with, like, was it about his marriage? I forget how it ended. I think it was more like the spouse left or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, Major Nikolai, are you unable to carry out orders? His voice goes cold with this question. A soldier's sole value is his ability to carry out orders. If I can't do as I'm asked, then what use am I? No, sir. I can do what is needed. The words bring me back from the edge I had been teetering on. Refusal is a dangerous path, and not one I'm ready to take, yet. To push the point further would be to question Nikolai himself. I can't do that. Not after everything he's done for me. What has he done? I'll report to headquarters tomorrow. Good afternoon. One moment, Captain. Before you come back, there's one more thing I need from you. There's a man staying in Laroque. Herbert Denham. Oh, another target. My spirits sink even lower than they were before. He's an American, but he has a long history of working with the French. Okay, the word in German for American is Amerikaner. And Franzosen, I'm assuming for French. So likely a spy. Denham cannot be allowed to leave the country. He'll try soon. He knows we're on to him. Forgive my asking, but why hasn't he been arrested yet? It would be an affront to the Americans, unless we can offer proof of his activities. Relations are strained as it is. Take charge of the investigation. Find the proof. And if it comes to it, make Denham disappear. Ooh. Great. I'll be stuck in Laroque until this is resolved. It'll be a few days at least, unless Denham makes a run for it. You have your orders, then? The call disconnects with a click as he hangs up the phone. I inwardly groan as I replace the receiver. The only silver lining I can see is that the investigation of Denham seems to be ongoing. I won't be starting from scratch. Dipping into my briefcase, I retrieve my military papers from their hiding place. I may as well keep them accessible, so I tuck them in the inner pocket of my overcoat. With everything in order, I make my way through the subterranean tunnels towards the German border. The long line doesn't seem to be moving. There's some kind of commotion ahead. Lillian. I crane my neck to see a woman pleading with a border guard. A woman with very distinctive red hair. That couldn't be. She's supposed to stay in Basel. I mutter apologies as I push my way to the front of the grumbling line. As I near the front, I confirm it. It's Lillian. What is she doing here? He's very sick. What if I don't make it back in time? She's speaking of her uncle. When she spoke of him earlier, she hadn't mentioned anything about him being ill, let alone on his deathbed. Surely that would have come up. But what do I really know about her? An American traveling from Paris, on her way to see her uncle in not Basel, but Laroque. If the French did send someone to help Herbert Denham, Lillian's story would make a cover. Oh my god, this is the moment he suspected her for real. The guard shifts uncomfortably, unsure of what to do about Lillian's growing hysterics. I can't. I wish she wasn't involved. But I can't ignore my hunch. I have a duty to investigate. Rather than waiting for the scene to play out, I step forward. What's wrong? She turns to look as I place a hand on her back. Her eyes, glassy and brimming with tears, widen with recognition. There's no relief there, only confusion and perhaps fear. At least the guard seems grateful for my intervention. I can't let her through without a license. Lillian's lips part in a silent plea. Is she looking to me for help or mercy? As I scrutinize her, a painful thought occurs. The time we spent on the train. Was any of it Real. Ah, you guys are so complicated. It was real. Neither one of you knew anything, okay? Let's clear that up right now. I know you... Oh, will you ever know? I don't know. Goohoo Games, will they ever know? I wish they would know, but who knows? It kind of depends. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Ah, okay. It doesn't matter at the moment. She might have been shoring up her cover, circulating her story, and gathering information. When she saw me on the train, she might have struck up our conversation, not in spite of seeing my German newspaper, but because of it. How disappointing. I can't make any assumptions. The only way to confirm my suspicions is to see what she does next, which means letting her through. Surely an exception can be made. I step up to the window and pull out my military papers. Along with my identification, I keep a written order from the major. It's enough to get cooperation from most officers and officials, even without revealing my connection to the Abteilung 3rd B. Just this once. I'm certain Lillian can't see over my shoulder. She's far too petite. The guard reads through the orders I've handed him and pales. As expected, the major's signature and seal is authority enough. She's American. She doesn't know any better. I'll vouch for her. Yes, sir. The guard slides everything back under the glass to me, including Lillian's passport. That's useful. I take the entire stack in hand. All right, please proceed. She looks perplexed as I urge her along through the turnstile and away from the crowds. The further we get from any curious onlookers, the better. Okay, so this is interesting. Because Lillian doesn't know what to make of him if he's, like, just helpful for some reason. Until he starts acting a bit more suspicious, like, you know, we'll get there in a second. But he has just had this call from the major, the major, and now he's like, I have to investigate. Wow, what timing. If he had called on the other side of, like, in Germany, then, like, maybe he wouldn't have run into Lillian. Or at least she, like, at least wouldn't have, like, wouldn't run into her knowing this information. So that's interesting. Anyways, we stop in front of the public telephones, none of which are currently in use. Satisfied that we are far enough away from the checkpoint, I unfold her passport. Lillian Talora Sinclair. Is that even her real name? If this passport is a forgery, it's a very good one. I can't detect a single flaw. All the information here seems credible enough. She gazes up at me expectantly, waiting for me to return her passport. It's hard to believe that she's been lying to me this entire time. But that's what makes someone like her so dangerous. I didn't think we would be seeing each other again. Nor I. At least, not so soon, right? She offers me a sheepish grin, but it feels like bait. I continue to study her passport, hoping to glean some confirming piece of information. Anton, how were you able to get me past that guard? I bribed him. Security in this country is a joke. I brush away the question, not really caring if she believes the explanation or not. We have more important things to discuss. Lillian, what are you doing here? Like I told you before, I'm visiting my uncle. Yes, in Switzerland. But here you are in Germany. He was supposed to meet me at the station, but I couldn't find him. Likely he left word with the station master that I'm to meet him in Laroque. I narrow my eyes, letting my skepticism show through. The pressure to fill the ensuing silence wins out, and she continues. The more she says, the more likely she is to give something important away. He took ill very suddenly. I'm told there's a very good doctor here who can treat him. He must be in a serious... it must be a serious illness to put you in such a state. He's family. Of course I'm upset. She's getting frustrated that I'm not taking her answers at face value now. It doesn't matter, though. As long as I'm holding on to her passport, I have all the leverage I require. She can't leave, at least not easily. And that will give me the time I need to get to the bottom of this. And that's it. Ah, okay. Well, I think it's very interesting that the most important. Sorry, that was me like squealing, screaming, whatever. But I want. Okay, so like. Okay. Obviously, now we know that Anton kind of wants to not be in his position in the military, or at least not have this type of responsibilities that he currently has, which basically means being like a very well trained hitman for the military, for his country, so whatever, like a spy, we're all spies here. But also, Lillian and Emil do not seem like they do the same type of spy work in the fact of like their different skill sets. So we're all spies here, which like we knew. But Anton is specifically a hitman, which like is very interesting. Makes sense why he wouldn't want to continue that line about being like in that line of work and being like either earnest about being a killer or numb. And then him being the latter killed me. So I feel sympathy. I empathize. I empathize with the man. Like he's doing what he probably. I want to know what the major also has done for him and supported him to make Anton feel like he has to continue in this way. I love that my cursor's just on help. Okay. Anyways, so yes, I like that. And hold on, I'm gonna check how much time I actually have on this. Perfect. So to sum it up, what we have learned is that Anton doesn't want to be doesn't want to be what he doesn't want to do what he does currently. He wants a different job in serving his military, his country. Basically he's a hitman, but he's very numb to it all. Like he does it and he can do it and he has great skills and talent for it, but he just simply does not want to do that. Two, he really likes Lillian. Like that was very apparent from her perspective and her side of like the story and things. And what kills me is that they don't know that they two were both very genuine. That train ride, from at least the information that we gathered, was totally like just random. Like it was basically coincidental. Even though both of them had like are going or coming back from their spy missions, they were not like targeting each other in a way to gather information. They were just being two normal people. But this is again a reoccurring theme in that these spies being in the spy world means not having a normal life because you have to keep a lot of secrets. And who knew that they were going to run into fellow spies? I mean, we did because that's what we're here for, love and country, the first mission. But they themselves are probably not thinking that they'd run into a spy. I mean, hopefully, in anything, if it would be a spy for the same side. But now, obviously, Anton and Lillian are not spies for the same side. And now he is investigating her. And honestly, I still don't kind of like, I get that he's doing his job, but at the same time, I feel like if that's what really puts me off about Anton personally, about like his story. Like while I empathize with him about like him wanting to leave his line of work, or at least the responsibilities that he currently has, I think that it's just so weird like when he leverages her passport against her. So like, I'm gonna keep this. I'm like, yeah, you're doing your job, but also, didn't you also say you want to get out of this life? Like, couldn't you at least give her like a couple more days? Couldn't you just like, I mean, I guess like he's coming back, like if he does a back-to-back failure, like, or being a disappointment to the major, then like that wouldn't be great. But couldn't you just be like bad at your job? I don't know, like how bad at your job could you be bad at your job to get out of like being tasked with these very important things, or would they do worse things to you? Is like my question. Like maybe that is a way to get out of like the responsibilities he currently has, is my idea. Or, kind of suck it up and say that he doesn't, but like, that obviously has implications for like the rest of his life and his family and like blah 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 blah. So that's a lot. So Anton, you're making me think here, but you're still so scary to me. You are very gorgeous, and like, you and Lillian get along so well, so I'm happy. And she likes you, so it killed me when it wasn't like, seeing this theme for them where it like feels like they keep attracting each other, they keep gravitating towards each other, but they can't really stay in each other's like spheres for that long. or at least not without hurting each other. So, anyways, those are my ramblings about the Anton bonus content of Loving Country, the first mission. Let me know what you think. Anton's such a complicated person. Lillian too. I'm not talking really about Emil because we didn't see him this time, but also he's complicated. So let me know what your thoughts are. If you like the video, please press the like button, and if you'd like to see the next bonus content, which will focus on Emil, and in future Loving Country content, whenever that is available, then feel free to subscribe to my channel and press the bell for notifications because I will definitely play more in the future. So don't you worry about that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.